I came to know Elizabeth during the academic year 2019-2020 when I was interim dean of the college. And Elizabeth that year was chair of the executive committee of the college, which is the governing body of the College of Arts and Sciences. We worked very closely together. We met often to plan the agenda for those meetings, also to think about what the important issues were for the college that year. So I got to know her fairly well, kind of as an administrator, you know, because being chair of that particular committee requires a lot of administrative talent. She was very effective. Elizabeth was very proactive. She had many ideas about what to do. She was a very clear thinker. She got a lot accomplished that year and was very invested in faculty development and the welfare of the college. I was most impressed by Elizabeth's character and also her joyfulness. If you knew Elizabeth, she was just such a joyful person. And I think that contributed to how effective she was in what she did. Elizabeth was highly regarded by faculty and also by administration. So Elizabeth wanted to develop a lecture series in mathematics. One of her priorities as chair designate, and she was to become chair of the math department, one of her priorities was to fund a lecture series, hoping that it would foster an intellectual community within the college, with the mathematics department an integral part of that intellectual community. This is such an important mission for the university. Elizabeth's family is here today. Her husband, Mark, who is a professor of mathematics. Her children, Juliet and Peter. Her mother, Kathy Elder. Her sister, Sarah Elder. Mark's parents, Mark and Marilyn Meckes. And their dear friend, Pierre Alban. Dean Joy Ward could not be here today because she's out of town. She wanted me to convey that when she first came here as dean of the college, she had discussions with Elizabeth about what was needed in the college. And she said that she is still guided by those ideas that Elizabeth has expressed. She also valued her exceptional positivity, which really captures her, I think. During one of my meetings with Elizabeth, she proudly presented me with her newly published book. The title of that book is The Random Matrix Theory of the Classical Compact Groups. Her deep love of the field of mathematics became apparent as we discussed what ideas she tried to convey in that book. Part of her legacy is this endowed speaker series, which will reflect her love of the field of mathematics and also help develop an intellectual community at Case. Our speaker today is Eugenia Cheng. We are very fortunate to have her here because, as Mark informed me, Dr. Cheng was Elizabeth's dream speaker for this series. Dr. Cheng is a scientist in residence of the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. She holds a PhD, which she received from the University of Cambridge. She has a number of highly regarded books, one of which is How to Bake Pi. Another is X plus Y, a mathematician's manifesto for rethinking gender. And recently she published The Joy of Abstraction, an exploration of math, category theory, and life. In addition to being a mathematician, Dr. Cheng has many other talents. She composer, a pianist, a writer of children's books, a pioneer of math on YouTube, and most impressive, she has been on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. I watched that video last night. It's on YouTube. I urge you all to do that. It's great fun. And I see why Elizabeth was so taken with her. In this particular video, she uses baking to express principles of mathematics. And I know that Elizabeth also loved to bake, so it fits. So after Dr. Cheng's talk, she will be signing the book, How to Bake Pie, in the lobby, and there are also refreshments there, so we hope that you can stay. So Dr. Cheng?